Okay, do that again.
Oh, I haven't started record. Okay, sorry. Okay, so good afternoon, guys. So the movie that we are reviewing is the Flight Plan 2005. So my group, me, Jane, and Alif. Okay, next. Okay, so I'm gonna explain about the summary. Okay, so it's basically about an aviation engineer who lost her husband David and bring his casket to America from Berlin with her daughter Julia. So things get ups and down when Julie found uh, kidnapped by someone, and then she's tried to find her, and then she finds some shocking information that this flight was hijacked, and also her husband was killed just because they plan to hijack the flight because for 50 million ransom and frame her to be one of the hijack because she's the aviation engineer for the particular flight. So that's the reason. This is like the whole summary about the movie. Okay, the findings is smuggling. So Carson smuggled two explosives from Kylie husband casket with the remote control. Uh, the reason they killed the husband is because to smuggle the explosive in his casket. So there is a smuggling involved and also kidnap. Carson and Stephanie kidnapped Julia, which is Kylie's daughter, because so that she will open her husband casket to find her daughter, because they will say like Julia is also dead on the same day and her body is also in the casket, but actually not. They frame her like that and murdered. uh, as I said, she found that her husband was not committed suicide, but was killed and also hijacked. Carson and Stephanie conspired to hijack the plane for the 15 million ransom.
Okay, so I'll be explaining the discussion. So the major problems are, first is Julia is kidnapped. It is revealed that Carson and Stephanie have conspired to hijack the aircraft for a 50 million ransom and frame Kyle due to her knowledge of the aircraft. They abducted Julia to force Kyle to unlock the casket, and it seems that Julia was put into a food cart and just was pushed away. And then after that, David's suicide. Kyle's husband died falling from the roof, which Kyle refuses to believe was suicide. It was revealed that he was pushed from the roof and they used the casket he was in to smuggle explosive onto the aircraft. And then the third major problem would be smuggle explosive. The explosives was hidden in the casket and it was going to be used to bomb the aircraft. And Carson was going to frame Kyle for being the person that was going to do it, as she had knowledge about the aircraft. Now, the alternative solutions to the major problems. For the Julia being kidnapped, the crew and people in the plane should have noticed the kid inside a plane, as it was impossible to lose a kid inside a big plane. They should be more aware of it and maybe not think that Kyle is crazy and try to understand her situation even more. Kyle knew her daughter was the type to get easily lost, so she should have been more aware where her daughter was. Now, for David's suicide, all of the signs showed suicide, but actually it was murder because he was pushed. So the police should have been more persistent in solving the case even deeper rather than ruling it as a suicide. Now, for smuggled explosive, since 9/11, all cargo has been checked before boarding the plane. Now, to hide explosive inside a casket is a clever idea, but it simply isn't possible. So the solution is that the people at the airport should have checked the cargo more thoroughly than before. The conclusion of this, this was pre-planned by the criminal, where Carl Pratt's husband, David, was killed by by Carson. to carry her husband's casket to her native, which is the United States, and smuggle the explosives into her husband's casket. The reason they chose Calpera is she's the plane's engineer. She knows everything about the plane, and they can blame Cal for the crime they're doing, or murder her and her daughter, while also hiding Julia's life. Oh gosh. Okay. So yeah.
Hello, can you hear?
Yes.
So for my part, I'm doing the recommendation. So the recommendation, alternate solutions that should have been adopted. So number one is the transport security administration. So this is an American like um aviation security, and they should have been briefed regarding the safety and security measures that to be taken before boarding a flight and inspect the cargo more thoroughly. So and number two, the TSA or the security regarding the airport should have been a lot more methodical and analytical around checking the cargo. So in the movie, the bomb was or the grenade or the C4 has been planted within the casket. So what the TSA should have done is that they double check or check more thoroughly on that part, because before sending out or sending in the luggages, they need to X-ray or check it when like an X-ray machine to go through each baggage. So number three, the situation could have been prevented if the security parameters and the security around the cargo or baggage area would take an extra effort on probably checking and investigating the cargo before boarding the plane. So this is the same as number two. So number four, that is not listed in there. So that the staff should have be more um be more caring or should be more alert and not being condescending and cold towards Kyle. As she was looking for her daughter, they just rendered her insane, because on the boarding ticket, she there's no listing that she and her daughter Julia were on board, even on the booking ticket. So implementation, so the security or the transport security administration should have, or the airline company should have should have checked and be more critical towards this type of situation, because in the movie itself that the hijacker and Cal the hijacker has played the captain into thinking that Cal actually is the hijacker. So so the captain and the airline shouldn't have they straightforward follow what the hijacker thinks said, and actually talk or be more critical, be more analytical in this type of situation. So number two is that in the rough estimate of cost. So this type of Airbus, well it is an Airbus double decker. So in the movie the bomb was planted in the avionics. So the avionics itself, it controls like the tower of the airport, right? It is it works as like a detection of the plane. So it so a Boeing plane like that with first class seat and economy in itself costs around 300 million, like the whole plane, over 300 million. So if by this damaging the avionics, it costs around 100 million. Plus, Kyle herself can sue the airline company for negligence under Malaysian Aviation Consumer Rights. So thank you. That's all my part.
Okay, I'll ask question one by one. We start with Alif first. So Alif, if you were the leader or maybe the captain in this case, what would you do instead?
So the captain in the movie actually wants to talk to Kyle in the first place, but she was
If you were the leader, if you
um
were the captain, what would you do?
to be honest, um I would think of other options on how to tackle this situation. For
Yes,
example,
what are the other options? The best
like
one and why?
us well mm, I would like to see the hostage being held first before handing the money, because it is because that I want to see if the hostage is really being held hostage, or or the hostage itself is dead. So if I give the money first, then it is kind of not worth it or useless, because the captain are actually being on everybody before 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 giving up before giving out the money, before wired the money. So if I were the captain, I would want to see the hostage first before giving the money. And you understand,
Okay.
madam?
The hostage means that the mother,
No,
so
uh, the daughter, Julia.
um there was no hostage actually, right? In this case.
Yeah, yes, well, it is not because it's like more of the hostage kidnapping.
I'm sorry?
It's like more like hostage kidnapping, madam. Uh,
Uh-huh,
hostage kidnapping.
but she didn't kidnap anyone, like she didn't keep
The
anyone
hijacker.
as as the hostage. It's just that um the hostage would be the whole plane, the passengers. Is that what you mean?
No,
Because there was no
well,
hostage in the case. Because she
the
was. Mhm.
I think I use full choice of words. Um,
Did you watch the movie?
oh, it's the no, madam. I think I got mixed up. I think I got mixed up. Okay, okay. I think I know the answer, madam. I think I would like to see the explosive, because of because as a captain I would not take the hijacker words, because there was no actual because the captain doesn't really see the bomb, the C4. So I would not take
Mhm.
the hijacker's word lightly. Well, not lightly, like not just take the hijacker's word. Word.
Okay. All right. Thank you. How about Joe? I have one question.
Yes, madam.
So, so you did the summary part just now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, since you know the whole story,
Mm-hmm.
mm, if you were the mother, what would you do?
If I were the mother, what would I do? Just like her, will find the daughter. But I wouldn't have believed that because Carson and the other stewardess will tell that you wasn't aboard with your daughter Julia, but she trusted it and she believed it and she just sit on a seat. Then only she realized that her daughter is there, because before they enter the plane, no, after they enter the plane, they will be talking and then the daughter will draw a love on the window. So then only she realized. But if I was a mother, I wouldn't have believed that she's, yeah.
Right. Thank you. Um, so Jane, one question for you. Can you go to your slide?
Okay. Yes, my side. Okay, one moment. One moment. It's this one.
Discussion.
Discussion, yeah.
Okay. Can you go next?
The conclusion, yeah.
Right after. Oh, okay. Go back. Your
Okay.
part.
Yeah.
This one, your part, correct?
Yes.
Is this your part?
Yeah.
So for the alternative,
Yes.
okay. For the alternative or the implementation part, what would you? Which one is the best alternative to overcome or to maybe for major problem? For major problem number one, if this issue or this particular this particular matter happens here, so which one is the best alternative or the best implementation?
Well.
For number one, regarding
Julia was kidnapped.
main power, I guess, Carson and Stephanie.
For Carson and Stephanie?
Carson is the officer.
Yeah, the Sky Marshal that was pretending to be a Sky Marshal, but it's the hijacker.
Right.
Yeah.
So based on this particular issue, number one, can you explain more about the best implementations?
Well, implementation.
Just the kid try to understand where so maybe this one post event, maybe I would say. So maybe what would you say? The government or maybe the society or the aviation industry? Which party that you to prevent this major problem? Number one, to happen in the future. Because this one, I believe the major issue here would be it's a breach of
security,
breach of duty. Breach of duty. So yes, can you talk about the implementation part? Maybe post event. Yeah.
Post event. Okay. I feel that I think the government should have been more thorough with people because because people at the airport, right? They check each people's identity, right? With their scanners and all. So I'm trying to figure out words.
Okay, maybe this one breach of duty, something like right, the apa? Use his position to manipulate people. So what should be done to this particular issue or to tackle this particular issue? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I do. I think it's just processing what to say in a way. Breach of duty. I think what would happen would be the government would investigate him more deeper into why he wanted to do it in a way. What?
It's okay. There's no wrong or right answers. Just your thoughts.
My thoughts are, yeah. So my thought is,
Mhm.
I feel like the government after what had happened would investigate Carson much more thoroughly on why he wanted to hijack that plane and why he wanted to.
Because of money, right?
Yeah, the money. Yeah, why he want that money for. Yeah, 50 million for that. Yeah.
To be with his lover, I guess.
God.
The
Just 50 million. Huh?
FA.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
read
So what would be the best? Yes.
best. Well, what would be the best? I feel like by just hijacking, I think she would be sent to prison before that. Uh,
Are you okay?
I'm good. I have no idea what to say on this part actually. Yeah, on this problem.
Okay, maybe you wish which one that you feel comfortable to answer. Yeah, I don't mind. It doesn't have to be number one. It could be any of the major problems.
Well, uh, I don't know. I feel like any of them. I feel like it's the same already by this point. I'm not sure.
But this is your part, right?
Yes,
Chin.
it's my part. Still, I'm having problems explaining it. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you okay? I mean, anything that bothers your mind or?
No, not really. I guess. I no.
Uh-huh.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you do then? What would you do? What do you which is the best um what is the best way if you are the I don't know if you have the power or if you're in a position to change it in the future or not to change but to prevent this particular problem to happen in the future, what would you do then? If you have the position or the power to do so, what would you do?
For me, I would have every airport, having very, very high tech, scanning equipment. Make sure, like, every time. I mean, if I have the power to do so, when you give your identity card, at the airport, scan it thoroughly throughout everything and make sure, like, the passenger is actually a very safe person. Background check everything before going on board, and and what else? Again, thoroughly checking cargo and all with high tech scanners. Yeah.
All right, understood.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God. Thank God.
Okay, you may stop the screen recording. Yeah. All right.